What's up, guys? My name's Captain Dave, and welcome back to the Captain's Quarters, the video in which I go through and answer all of your questions and comments from last time's video. And man, you guys came out in force last week. I mean, I was expecting a slightly larger turnout, because it's the first time you see what I look like. It's the first time I'm revealing my face, so I expected a larger turnout. But looking at the comments now, I mean, assuming YouTube hasn't deleted some like they do sometimes, I'm looking at about 70 comments right now. So man, you guys came out in force, and I appreciate it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, you had a lot of nice things to say, which I also appreciate. But yeah, so we're going to try and get through these. We're going to get through as much of these as we can, because this is going to be a long video regardless. So I want to try and get as many of these answered, hopefully, or most likely all of them. But so I'm going to go through the questions quite quick. So, before we kick things off, number one, most of you guys know, because you follow these Captain's Quarters quite a lot, that I've been in the thick of deadline month right now at university. Well, as of this week, I'm done. I'm finished with university, and I have all the time in the world to make videos, which is awesome. It's what I've wanted to do for ages. However, because I've been really busy this week, as has Tommy, I haven't had a chance to get anything recorded. So, Segway City, as you know by watching this now, because obviously this comes out the day after Segway City, we haven't had a chance to record it. We've both been really busy. So the odds are we might have to miss it this week, but it will be back and up and running again next Saturday. In the same vein, I haven't had a chance to get any more Skyrim recorded. So Monday, it probably will still be missed, but as of Thursday, Skyrim will be back, as will The Walking Dead. So as of next week, about midweek next week, everything's going to be back up and running. We're going to have Skyrim, we're going to have Walking Dead, Captain's Classic, Segway City, and the Captain's Quarters. Everything's going to be back. It's just this week it's been the combination of everything. It's been everything trying to get added in, so I haven't had any time to get anything recorded. In that same vein, I'm shattered. I'm really tired. I almost didn't record this, but I thought, nah, I have to go through. You guys said some really nice things about me, so I have to go through and I have to answer these stuff. But yeah, I'm shattered. I'm really tired. I've even got my my cup of coffee here, like my second one of the day, to try and wake me up a little bit. But yeah, so having said that, start of next week, I might miss a few videos, but as of say Wednesday, Thursday, everything will be back on track. Skyrim, Walking Dead, it will all be coming back. So you got that to look forward to. But yeah, apologies in advance if I miss a video on Monday. But yeah, and as always with the Captain's Quarters, if I don't read out your comment this week, it's not my choosing. It's just sometimes YouTube doesn't put it on the screen. So if I don't read out your comment, write it again, and I'll hopefully get around to answering it next week, unless YouTube really doesn't like you. So anyway, let's kick this thing off with Monty Pig of the Doodle Clown, who said, "Whoa, he looks even cooler than I expected," which is thank you, thank you, Monty Pig. That's a great way to kick off this this comment section. So yeah, cheers, man, cheers. The next comment was from someone called Anal Bajanal. I don't know how to take this one, but I'll let you guys be the judge. Anal Bajanal said, thought you were Caucasian and had green hair and maybe a bit of a Hulk Hogan stash going on, but 9.8 out of 10 would bang Machinima Realm. So take that as what you will. Thanks, I guess. Charles Taylor Coe said, "Great to see you in all of your awesomeness, Cap. My question is, after seeing the plot of Captain America Civil War," and then there's a link to the Civil War IMDb page, "what do you think will cause the war?" And so, with stuff like this, I'm kind of like in two minds. Like, I really want to know as much information as I can. I mean, literally every Segway City has been us talking about Civil War, but I want to know as much as I can. At the same time, I don't want it to be ruined for me. So I'm really worried that, obviously, as the year goes on, as we get nearer and nearer to Civil War, I'm really worried that at some point I'm going to look at a bit of information and it's going to reveal a bit too much, and then I'm going to be able to guess what happens and then be like, damn it, I've ruined it for myself. So, but from what I do already know, I think the thing that's pretty much going to kick off Civil War is, from every superhero film that's been out, it's a combination of everything that's happened. It's the Chitauri and Loki in the first Avengers. You've got Hulk attacking pretty much all of New York. You've got everything that's happened in the Iron Man, the Cap films, the Thor films. All the destruction that's happened has been kind of eating away at the people of power, I believe. And from what I've heard is, at the start of Captain America Civil War, there's going to be Cap's new Avengers, being War Machine, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, and Vision. Something happens, and there is it's a catastrophe. There's mass casualties, and that's pretty much the nail in the coffin that kicks off Civil War. That last bit I just said about the new Avengers, take that as rumour, because obviously that hasn't been confirmed, but from what I believe, it's literally a combination of everything that's happened, and then something happens at the start of Civil War which kicks it off, and everyone's like, no, that's it, we've had enough. So yeah, that's how I think it will start. What that event will be, I don't know. Could possibly be in Wakanda. I mean, when last week's Segway City, we saw screenshots of Captain America, Falcon, and Crossbones, and it looked like they're in a place that could possibly be Wakanda, based on the setting and the people. So, who knows? Who knows? They did say that Black Panther's going to be in Civil War, so yeah, who knows? Anthony Casey said, "Looking good, Captain Dave." Thank you very much, Anthony. Sheik Nabi said, "Oh my freaking god, Dave! By the way, Dave, I have the glass armor on my level 38 Khajiit character on Skyrim and a mage follower." Yeah, that's quite a nice build, actually. See, that's the thing about Skyrim. It's such a long game. There was I had a chance to pick up that Elven armor at one point. I came across that dead Justicar, and I thought about picking it up. I mean, I could have easily killed the 2 other Justicars and picked it up. I say easily killed, judging by the character I got killed by in this week's episode. But I could have easily killed it, picked up the armor, but I thought, in games like this, I like the progression. I love the cool leather armor I've got right now, but I'm eventually going to change it up and get some better armor and stuff like that. But I like the progression. I never understand why right at the start of the game, people sometimes cheat and get the absolute best thing at the start. I'm like, well, now you've got nothing to work towards, you know? It's the same reason why I don't steal everything. I only steal the really good stuff. Because if I stole everything and then, like, slept for 24 hours, sold off the gold, slept for 24 hours, sold off the gold, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but where's the fun in that, you know? Like, I like slowly building it up and feel like I've earned it, you know, so. But no, yeah, at some point, the glass armor is eventually where I want to be heading. That'd be really cool, but I'm just enjoying the journey. Did Artman1 Fest said, "So now we can stare at your wall of reference." Yes, yes you can. As we found out last week, you can finally see what it is I'm looking at when I say I look at my comment, my poster and my comics and stuff like that. And you can also see this very awesome Hulk versus Hulkbuster armor as well. So you're welcome, Marvel. I'll accept my my check in the post for that free bit of advertising there. Any day now, Marvel. Any day now. I'll get that phone call. A boy can dream. But yeah, you can see my wall of reference now, so that's pretty cool. You can actually see what I'm talking about, so. Sheik Nabi also said, and also Dave, can you do a walkthrough with your face in the side in the near future? Thank you, Dave. Yeah, so like, as a few people responded to in the comments, the comments there, I don't really plan on ever doing the face cam thing. I mean, this thing here, this is exclusive for Captain's Quarters and probably like updates and stuff like that. This is just so I feel it's a bit more personal when I'm talking to you guys. And so you actually have something to look at instead of just looking at that thumbnail when I'm flapping my gums. But now when it comes to gameplay, like when I do my walkthroughs, it's just going to be the game. It's just going to be like Skyrim or The Walking Dead or whatever superhero game I'll be playing next. So it's just going to be that. I'm not going to have my face down in the corner. And you guys know why. I don't like face cams. I think they're pointless. I just don't see what is the point. Like any face people pull when they're doing face cams, it's a put on. It's just for show. Like the only face people pull when they're playing a game is this. That's the only face they pull, like, hands down. And I'm really not looking forward to watching that facial expression back. But, so that's the only face they pull. When they're like, ah, oh, ha, it's like, no, that's not what they're doing. That's not a real reaction. That's the silliness. But, no, I mean, like, people do like face cams, that's cool, but I'm just not a fan of it. So, when I play the games, it's just going to be the game and my voice. But, no, stuff like this will continue, but not in the gameplay, so. Lucas, I can never pronounce your last name, said, Dave, you need to shave. Anywho, what direction do you want the new Spider-Man movie to take? So, what direction do I want to take the new Spider-Man movie? I don't know. See, this is one of the things. Like, I remember when you guys were asking me, like, what do I want the next Mass Effect to be? I don't know, and that's the thing. Is because anything I really have too much of opinion on is I have opinion on certain things, but stuff like Spider-Man, stuff like Mass Effect, I don't. I'm such a fan. I can't think. I'm just like, I just want it to be. And I just want all of it to just blow me away. And it's weird, like, there's loads of routes it could take, but I've got no idea which way I want it to take. I just want it to happen, and I want it to be cool. So, like, I honestly, I have no idea. It could go a million different ways. The amount of enemies he has, the amount of storylines he has, it could go anywhere. But, I don't know, stuff like that, stuff like Mass Effect, I can never come up with ideas. I'm just like, I think I'm just too much of a fan that all I can think of is just like, I want it to happen! Like, that's all it is. But, yeah, who knows, and... Hey, you're saying I need to shave? This is me shaven. Like, this is as shaven as I get, man. This doesn't get any more shaven than this. The Captain Animus said, Dave, just send Lydia at the mammoth until it's dead or use magic. Yeah, it's not actually a bad tactic. She's a bit of a tank. She can take the damage. I could literally just send Lydia to go attack the mammoth and then hide behind a rock or something. So, it's not actually a bad tactic. Maybe I should do that, or maybe I'll stop dying. Oh, look, there's a cat. Some of you guys have some really weird names, man. I think it's funny. I like it. Some of you guys and your names. As someone who's considering doing videos on my channel in the future, no self-promotion, I'm wondering how you get the headset to record the voice on the PVR you use, and how you connect it all. Also, audio quality is fine. Alright, thank you for answering that. Okay, so, man, that has gone cold, and that is disgusting. Right, so, I'm wondering how you get the headset to record your voice on the PVR you use, and how do you connect it all? Okay, so that's the thing, is when I'm recording, like, my audio. So say, like, just for example, I'm recording Skyrim. The PVR doesn't record my voice. All the PVR does is record the gameplay. So basically what it is say, like, you've got, say that's your TV monitor, and that's your Xbox, your PlayStation, what have you, whatever it is you record stuff on. Basically, you connect your Xbox or your PlayStation, whatever, to your TV, and the signal goes through that way. With the PVR, it's basically got your console, and that connects to your PVR, which then connects to your TV. So basically it acts as just like a box which feeds the information through to the TV, and that records the signal that's been sent through to your TV, which then in turn sends that signal to your PC. So all that does is record your gameplay and your game audio. My voice is something completely separate. To record my voice, I use a free program which is fantastic, which you can download, called Audacity. Completely free, and it's just awesome. You don't need any upgrades, anything like that. I've had the free version for my entire YouTube time, so what, 4 years, 5 years, and it's been awesome. And all you do is you plug in your microphone, like your headset, plug it in, set it up so you can record your mic, stuff like that. And literally at the start of every time I'm recording, whatever it is, I go to the options screen and I just flick up and down on the options. Just back and forth like that. And at the same time, I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that way, once I've recorded my audio as a separate file, and I've recorded my gameplay, and I put them back both into my editing software, I can sync up with the audio with me flicking up and down in the options menu. And that way, it just streamlines everything along. So, audio by voice audio, completely separate. Game audio and gameplay, recorded by the PVR. My voice, completely separate file. You just put them together afterwards when it comes to editing. So that's like when my PVR cuts out, every time I have to pause it and I have to resync it back up again. Because when my PVR cuts out, not only does my audio then go out of sync with the picture, but also the game audio goes out of sync with the picture, which is really weird. So I have to sync them all back up again. So yeah, if you're doing anything like gameplay-wise, or anything where you want your voice to be in sync, that's the best thing I can say. Record your voice separate from the gameplay, and then just do something on screen that is in relation to your voice. So like you can just say like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then flick the menu screen up and down, like back and forth like that, so you can get them in time with each other. And then everything past that will be in time. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's the best bit of advice I think I could really give you. Speaking of the devil, actually, Tommy has just texted me. Oh, there you go. But, Hans, you do not look like the guy in my dreams. Oh, that's a shame. Lucas, I can never pronounce your last name correctly, said, there are a lot of people who hate Iron Man 3. Are you one of them? When I first saw it, like, the thing that made everyone hate Iron Man 3 was the reveal with Mandarin. Like, it turns out that he wasn't the Mandarin. He was just some actor. I mean, that made everyone angry. Other than that, the film wasn't too bad. Actually, no, there was two things. One was the thing about Mandarin not being Mandarin, and the other thing was the fact that, like, he wasn't really Iron Man for much of the film. Like, most of it, it was just him being Tony Stark, which I didn't really have a problem with. But I can see why, if people went to go see Iron Man, they'd be upset when he's hardly ever Iron Man. It's like you go to see the Hulk, but he's only ever the Hulk once in the film. I'd understand why you'd be a bit angry. So there's a few reasons why people didn't like Iron Man 3. And the first time I saw it, I liked it, but I didn't think it was as good as the others, and I understood the hate. Having recently rewatched it, I actually thought it was better than I originally thought it was. It's just, I think everyone was expecting this really spectacular film, and it let them down in quite a few aspects. Oh man, my throat is my throat is dying. Man, I think I'm literally just reaching the end of my tether this week. I need to like sleep. I need to go into the Odin sleep and hibernate for a bit. Brandon Rakowski said, "Hey Dave, ever thought of playing Spider-Man Web of Shadows?" Ha ha ha. My real question is, what is your thought on Superior Spider-Man? Superior Spider-Man. When I first read Superior Spider-Man, I had taken quite a break from the Spider-Man series. Like I was reading Amazing, getting up to the death of Spider-Man, thinking, man, I really don't want this to happen, but I know it's going to. So, and then when it ended, I was like, oh, like I thought they were actually killing Spider-Man, and then they did this sort of like Freaky Friday mind swap thing, and I was like, oh, like I wasn't quite sure how to take it. I didn't know if I was just sort of angry that they killed Peter Parker, or if I was just let down because they had this whole big death of Spider-Man, and it turns out it really wasn't the death of Spider-Man. But in the same sense, I was kind of relieved that Peter Parker wasn't gone, because Spider-Man's my favourite character, and it's not because he's Spider-Man, it's because Peter Parker's my favourite character. So, yeah, so eventually I got into reading Superior Spider-Man, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I was reading it, I was like, man, this isn't Spider-Man, this isn't the Spider-Man I like, but it was a really cool concept, and I think they played it really well. And I think one of the best things about Superior Spider-Man, and the thing that I actually in the end started feeling slightly sorry for Dr. Octavius, was because when eventually, obviously, everything comes back and Peter Parker's back and the Amazing Spider-Man's back, is Dr. Octopus as Peter Parker had actually made some real connections with people, had actually made some real friendships, some real bonds, and I kind of felt kind of sorry for him. Like right at the very end, I actually felt kind of sorry for him, and like I don't want to give anything away about what actually happens in Superior Spider-Man, but in a sense, he had changed, like. Because, like, it's not really a giveaway, it happens at the end of Amazing Spider-Man, but because he was Dr. Octopus in Peter Parker's body, in Spider-Man's body, but he still ended, as a result, had all of Peter Parker's memories as well, so he was still Dr. Octopus, he was still evil, but at the same time, he had all this good in him, so it was almost like a constant conflict, a constant battle. He was still doing good, but doing it in an evil way, and it was a really cool concept. It was really well done. It was almost like, what would Spider-Man be like if he didn't have such a conscience that Peter Parker has? So it was really cool, and I feel like near towards the end, it was almost like he finally stepped up to be the hero he should be right at the end. It was kind of cool. It was really cool. But, yeah, it took me by surprise, but no, I'm glad Peter Parker's back. It was cool, but they did it, I think, for the right amount of time. Any longer and it would have been dragged out. Any shorter, it wouldn't have had the right effect. I think they did it for the right amount of time, but I'm glad Peter Parker's back. Cody Wilson said, "It's you! Looking good, man. Kind of got a Tony Stark look about you." Oh, thank you. I've never heard that before in my life, and I really doubt I'll ever hear that again, but, thank you very much. And the Monty Pig replied with, "I know, right? Kind of has that superhero look." Dude, seriously, by the time this video ends, I can feel my ego growing so much. My head isn't even going to fit inside this screen anymore. Just like my ego has grown too much. But, cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Yusuf Yasir said, "What up, Dave? How's it going? First and foremost, I was actually expecting Spider-Man to be there, and also nice haircut." Oh, cheers, man. Do you know, I was actually thinking about doing the old Civil War reveal. Like, I was going to sit here with a mask on, and then pull the mask off and be like, "What's up, guys? My name's Dave, and I've been Captain Dave since I was 23, or 22, or however long it was. I think I was 22. So, I was actually originally thinking of doing it that way, so it's funny you say that. But, anyways, my question for you is that if you could become a villain from Marvel and DC, who would you be? Also, if you were going to play The Last of Us, can you do it blind? Because it would be better if he saw your first reaction to the game, because it's a game that is best played blind. Sorry for the long question. I hope you have a good day. See you next time. Okay, Pokey. So, if I could be a villain from Marvel and DC, who would I be? See, DC's a tricky one, because I don't really know too many villains. And I know it's probably... I was going to say Joker. I know it's the go-to answer, but I was going to say Joker. But at the same time, I like Joker as a character, but I wouldn't want to be him. So... Yeah, DC's a hard one, because I don't really know too many villains. Who's the Flash villain? He's like the Reverse Flash, or something like that. I don't know anything about him, bear in mind. But I would like to be him just because he has cool powers. So, like, that's that's the only reason I would like to be him. I know nothing about his personality, and this might actually turn out to be a really bad choice, but yeah, why not, that guy. And Marvel? Time to look at the wall of reference again. Well, I don't know why I'm looking at the wall of reference, because there's only heroes up there. Who's a good bad guy? Like, for some reason, my mind, where every time you ask me, it always goes to Norman Osborn. But I wouldn't want to be him. A good bad guy. Magneto's kind of cool. I don't think I'd have the resolve to be Doctor Doom. Like, that's too much pressure. That sounds like too much hard work. Magneto's powers are cool. Could I like really be a jerk about this and pick like a bad guy slash good guy, say like Quicksilver, who's been an Avenger and has also been a bad guy. Like, could I do something like that? That'd be kind of cool. Let's just think of a big time bad guy. Who would I be? That's a tough one. There's too many. It's like, do I just base it on powers alone? Do I base it on like their character, who they've fought, what they've achieved? Like, how do I base that? I'm just literally in my head trying to think of every Avengers issue I've read and every Spider-Man issue I've read and trying to think of really cool villains. I don't know. That's a tricky one. There's so many good villains. I'm gonna say Quicksilver. Now I know he's not really a villain. Like, he's a member of the Avengers and he's primarily actually a good guy. But he's been a villain at some point. And I don't know. I just want to run really fast. I think that'd be awesome. So it might be. You notice how both my characters have been running really fast. Quicksilver and like the Reverse Flash. That's fun. I didn't intend that to happen, but. Yeah, it's a bit of a cop-out in your answer, but hey. And if I ever did play The Last of Us, no, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it blind. It's mainly because if you go back and watch my X-Men Destiny Shadow Matter, that was me doing it blind. And that's got a lot of positive response. Like, a lot of people like it, but I feel it wasn't very good. That's my honest opinion. I don't. Because I felt like my gameplay wasn't that good because I was too busy trying to concentrate on what I'm saying. And all the stuff I was saying wasn't very good because I was too busy trying to concentrate on me playing. So, as a result, I didn't get to enjoy the game myself because I didn't get to play it on my own. I was too busy trying to be entertaining to actually pay attention to what was actually happening in the game. And that's one of my biggest gripes when people play games blind and you're sitting there like, oh my god, go over there, but they missed it because they were too busy talking or they were too busy not paying attention to what the characters were actually saying. So that's why I play games first. One, so I can enjoy them, and two, so I know what I'm doing, so it's not like nails on a chalkboard for you guys to watch. But I know why you want me to watch it blind. It is kind of fun when something jumps out, it scares the bejeebus out of you, but I mean, Batman Arkham is anything to go by. I still get scared by stuff like all the time, so I won't worry about that. Chantra B said, Dave, if Tommy was a mutant, would you use him for your own purposes, hide him from the public, or give him to the government, or something like that? P.S. I don't like Web of Shadows. Good man. But if Tommy was a mutant, see, why are those the options? Like, do I own Tommy? Tommy actually texted me about this the other day. He sent me a screenshot of like that question. And he's like, I don't know how to take this. It's like a few things went through my head, like, do I own Tommy? Is he my property? Why are they the only options? And how cruel do you think I am? Like, if Tommy was a mutant, no, I'd encourage him to be a superhero and I'd be his sidekick. I mean, like, obviously, I'd love to be the superhero myself, but being someone's sidekick far beats just being a no one. Like, not to say being a nobody is bad, but like, if Tommy was a mutant, that would be awesome. Like, obviously, providing he doesn't have the power to vomit on command or something like that. Yeah, sounds like a cool power. I'll be like, Tommy, dude, be a superhero. I could be a sidekick. That'd be awesome. Like, I wouldn't turn him over to the government or use him for my own purposes. Like, if he's a mutant, I don't think I'd be able to make him do anything. Like, he'd be in full command of his own faculties and everything else around him. Like, I wouldn't be able to make him do anything. But no, I'll just encourage him to be awesome, and I can be his awesome sidekick. So. And then hopefully at one point get a blood transfusion, and then I get the abilities myself. All that sort of good stuff. But the Darkman1 Fest said, you said you don't cry much, neither do I, but if you want a tearjerker, play through Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. A Pacific death scene made me cry hardcore. FYI, I didn't even cry when my grandmother died, so it must be something to say. Yeah. Well, that's, yeah, I'm about to say, there must either be very sad games, like, if they made you cry and the death of your grandmother didn't, but, yeah, I think I know the death you're talking about. It's in Gears of War 3. I think I know the death you're talking about, and I've seen that clip as well. Yeah, that was actually, like, I didn't even know the characters, and even I was a bit like when I watched it, so, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Candyman Chucker said, good to see you, Spider Dave. As always, hope you and your family and friends are well. Yeah, they're doing great, thank you. My question is for today, what would be the hardest thing when I come to making your videos? I'm doing a ranting vlog on here and I can't seem to get my voice synced properly. Do you have tips on how I can do that properly so that people would actually hear me? What voice software you do? Oh, so there you go. That relates perfectly to what I was saying earlier. I use Audacity as the software I use, and basically if you're trying to get your, like, see, when I'm recording with this webcam, I'm recording through the webcam, and I'm using this as my microphone, so at the end it's just one video file, and I just literally just upload, so I don't need to sync anything together. If you are doing your video and, so say like you're recording your video on a webcam, but your audio in a separate file, then I'll do what I said earlier. I'd like either wave my hand on screen, or just blink as I said something, or just click a few options up and down, and say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that way you can sync it up perfectly, so. That's the way I've always done it, but, I mean, if you're doing a vlog where you're on camera, then this is just all recorded in one video file, like, the webcam, the video and the audio just all goes through the webcam, so I don't need to do any editing with this, but... the Wild Rider said the quality is good, thank you very much. Joshua Lace said, do you mostly read digital or physical comics? I thought the former, but I do see a lot of actual books in the background. Also, what is your favourite controller ever? Yeah, see, I do mainly read the digital stuff. Like, for stuff like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Avengers, stuff like that, I read digital, because there's like hundreds of issues of them, and I don't want them clogging up my back there. But the only thing I do have back there is my Marvel graphic novel collection. I'm going to mess up my webcam again, but I don't care. So, yeah, so what you see up there, those string of books there, those ones, they're part of my graphic novel collection. As you can see, the spines of the book all make up one picture, and also behind my head down there, because I run out of shelf space, is the rest of them. Like, that shelf up there is very rickety, it could fall down at any moment, so I had to construct that other bookshelf. Oh god, that's too high again. That'll do, that's fine. So I had to construct that other bookshelf just to put them all on, because the actual... That's still too high. The actual graphic novel series got extended, so I needed somewhere else to start storing them. So they just get sent to me every month, and I obviously pay a subscription to get them. And all the other ones that you saw up there, they're like the big events that I like Messiah Complex, and Second Coming, and Avengers vs. X-Men, and a whole bunch of other ones that I can't really remember right now, but... They're just like the big events, the ones I really wanted to read, the ones that I thought would be really cool. So, most of them I bought them before I read them as well, but... Yeah, so like, most of this series, like Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men, stuff like that, I read digitally, but the big events, sometimes I buy them, just because it's kind of cool just to have... I mean, I still, at the end of the day, I still prefer reading the actual paper book issues. I actually still prefer reading the books, because it not only does it kind of just feels better. It kind of just, it reads better. I find the artwork sometimes looks nicer, because like, when I watch them on my computer, it's in HD and it's cool, but when I watch it on my laptop, which is where I mostly watch them, because you can sit in comfort, it's not HD. So I kind of prefer reading the books. It just looks better, it just feels better, and as I think Tommy said in the last Segway City as well, it's helping out the comic book retailers. I mean, if that industry goes under, then so does the majority of comic book stuff. I mean, I know they're still digital, but you just got to help support it. So no, I love the books. I mean, if I had a warehouse where I could just keep them, I'd get everything in print. It's the only reason I don't read current stuff as well. I really want to read Secret Wars, like, so badly. I'm catching up right now. I've just finished Infinity, the Avengers and the New Avengers, and I'm now carrying it on. And it's really cool. It's getting really exciting. I'm catching up, and behind me, that white bag you see that's been sitting there for a little bit while, that's Time Runs Out Volume 1 and 2 and Axis as well. So I'm reading so I can eventually catch up, because that's where the digital subscription, that's where they've run out, and then those books carry on from there. So, but no, yeah, mostly I read the digital, and that's mainly just because I don't want to have hundreds and hundreds of issues clogging up my wall space. But the big events, yeah, I buy them. Definitely buy them. And what's my favourite controller ever? I don't really have a favourite, to be honest. I would say if the PlayStation pad was a little bit bigger, I'd say the PlayStation one, just because I like having the analog sticks next to each other. Originally, before I first got an Xbox, I didn't like how the analog sticks were at different places. It kind of made no sense to me, because I was like, your hands aren't different shapes, so shouldn't the analog sticks be in the same place? But, yeah, but the only problem is it's a bit of a small pad. Like, if the PlayStation's pad was the same size as the Xbox pad, I'd probably like it, which I believe the PS4 pad is, so... But I honestly really don't care that much, so... The Wild Rider said, at the time I'm in, which is a little over 5 minutes, Dave, I'm happy to see your face, and just so you know, I actually don't care about the mental image being shattered. You look fine as it is. Besides, you're not Spider-Man, you're not Captain Shepard, and the Khajiit Gaston, you are Dave, and that's all that matters. And by the way, my Skyrim character is also a Khajiit. Yes! Khajiits are all powerful. Khajiits are awesome. And Spider-Man is my hero. Oh, good man. Because you're eating Spider-Man, you're a man of good taste. Bloodstone Studio says, Dave has a face now. Here's my question. What do you think... My question, do you think we're in the golden age of superhero films and TV shows? And also, do you think Scarlet Witch will be a big part of the MCU in the future? Also, why are cats arseholes? Yes, I really do believe we're in the golden age of superhero films and TVs right now. And as of right now, I feel it's only going to get better. I'm curious to see what's going to happen after Phase 3, like after Infinity War. I'm curious where we're going to go from there. But, no, I think like right now we are just in such a fantastic time to be a superhero fan for cinematic and TV purposes as well. So, and do I think Scarlet Witch is going to be big in the MCU? Yes, I do. Like she was big in the comics. Like she had a major part to play with the Avengers, and more importantly, the Avengers disassembled. So I think she is going to play quite a big role. Possibly it could be her that has the catastrophe in New Avengers. Could be. We don't know. Maybe she loses grip on her powers and something goes completely wrong. We don't know. So. Yeah, I think she's going to play a big role. I definitely think she is. Like, they couldn't bring her in and not use her to her full extent, because that's what made her character so well known throughout the whole Marvel universe. So, and why cats arseholes? They just are. They just don't care. Like, a dog needs you. You love your dog, and that dog loves you back. You know, and it's like there's a real companionship. Yeah, they miss you when you're gone. They cry when you're not there. Like, they love it when you come home. They're awesome. Cats need you for food, water, and a little bit of comfort whenever they see fit. Like, if they don't want to hug you, if they don't want to cuddle, they won't. They will just go. Like, I can imagine if I had a heart attack or something like that, and I was laying on my floor, the last thing I see, hands down, will be my cat just sitting there looking at me. Like, my parents have a dog, and that dog is awesome. Like, it looks after my mum so much. Yet my cat would sit there and probably, if it could, laugh. Like if I fell over. Cats look out for number one. That's all they do, and full credit to them. But nah, they just are. It's just in their nature. Jean-Luc Picard said, "Whoa, based on voice, that was not what I was expecting. The weird thing is, I have a camp counselor that is your doppelganger. You're his. I mean, however that works. Regardless, nice finally seeing your face. Oh, thank you, Jean. And what can I say? That camp counselor of yours must have been a very attractive man." Zarak002 said, "Nice to see you in the flesh, Dave. One question I like to ask is whether you think Mass Effect 3 should have ended with the defeat of the Elusive Man. The bit with the catalyst was a bit rubbish, to be honest. I felt that all of the choices made in the games were to no avail. I would rather Shepard had pressed the button to fire the Crucible, and depending on what choices you made at the end, it would reflect the choices, e.g., who would survive in the second game." Yeah, I can kind of see your point there. I could see, like, that bit where he was sitting there with Anderson looking out, that was a really nice Mass Effect moment. Like, it really felt, when they were sitting there looking at it, you were sitting there and you actually kind of felt the same sigh of relief that they did. Like, wow, we're done. Like, we've done this. This is, yeah, so I can sort of see how you mean, but at the same point, like, the whole game was built on choices. And I feel like if they didn't give you one big choice at the end, people would have moaned again. Like, I think either way, people were going to moan. Unless they had made the best, most outstanding, spectacular ending ever, people were always going to moan. Because it was such a good game, and you need a spectacular ending to have done it any justice. So I think people are always going to moan a little bit. But, it's like, even as you say, who would survive, like in the second game, you still had to make a choice. You still had to choose whether to destroy the base or save the base. There was still a choice at the end. But, I can see your point. Like, if you'd been good throughout the whole game, like the Crucible would have had a better result. Where if you'd been bad for the whole game, the Crucible would have had a worse result. I could have seen that being an okay way to end the game. But I think they just wanted to give fans that one last big choice. But no, if it happened your way, I think I would have been equally as happy. Draco Wills 5 said, "Hey Captain Dave. Ever tackle Spider-Man Web of Shadows? Edit, saw the video, but still it would be hilarious to see his reaction." Alright, fair enough. I'll give you the reaction just for you. There's a reaction just for you. Also, more Lego games. Yes, Lego Batman 3 might be my favourite. I can't wait to see you tackle that. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to Lego Batman 3 as well. But of course, I'm doing the first 2 Lego Batman games before that as well. So it's probably going to be a bit of wait until that comes out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to do the Lego Batman games. That's going to be cool. Ashley Cronnock said, I thought you were 7 foot tall and black. Your Tinder profile lies. To which I replied with, I have many faces. I am one of the faceless men of Bravos. Sir Lance of Root said, you have fabulous eyelashes, Cap. Thanks. You know, I used to actually get told that a lot in school. Like when I was like 14, 15, 16, a lot of girls would come up to me in school and go, oh, you have such amazing eyelashes, blah, 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 blah. Which is nice. Lovely compliment, but at that age, the only thing I was looking for was a girlfriend. So to be told you have fabulous eyelashes and look like a girl wasn't exactly wasn't exactly what I was going for. Didn't help I had long hair as well at the time, so yeah, I was a mess as a child. But no, thank you very much for the compliment. Tanjil Malik said, are you planning on doing a walkthrough of The Witcher 3 anytime soon? Oh, and one more question. Would you rather marry Aaron Cash or marry Windelius? Damn, Windelius! Am I going to be playing Witcher 3 anytime soon? Nah, I'm not. I've heard it looks like a fantastic game, but I haven't played any of the Witcher games. I've heard they're all very, very good. So maybe that's one of the things I'll play in the future, just like I plan on playing Dragon Age in the future at some point, but... I've heard they're very, very good, but no, I don't plan on playing it anytime soon. And who would I rather marry, Aaron Cash or Windelius? Aaron Cash, like, if you're making me pick Aaron Cash, like, man, it would be irritating. Like, man, we're getting married today. Like, it would be pain in the ass being married to Aaron Cash. But Windelius, the guy lives in like cave and thinks he's a ghost. Like, as irritating as Aaron Cash is, at least you could have a normal life with that dude. And hell, you might get to meet Batman. So, yeah, Aaron Cash. Plus, Aaron Cash will just get... Yeah, and then Aaron Cash would get captured, like, on the honeymoon, and I'd never have to see him again. So, yeah, Aaron Cash. And Windelius would just try and kill me. If you haven't seen my newest Skyrim video, you probably won't know who Windelius is. But, yeah, check out one of my newest Skyrim vids, and you'll know exactly who Windelius is. But, yeah, go on, Aaron Cash, if you're making me pick, but... Zachary Perkins said, not what I was expecting, but yay, unexpected. Hashtag long live the captain. Man, if that ever got trending, that would make my day. Okay, question time. Top 5 favourite Pokemon. Mine are, number 1, Swampert, number 2, Lucario, number 3, Infernape, number 4, Darkrai, I can never say that right, number 5, Greninja. No, that's pretty good picks. I like hearing people's top 5 Pokemon. They're normally like... a lot of people seem to like people like Lucario, but like number 1 Swampert, I never would have seen that coming. Like, it's weird. Like, that's what I love about Pokemon. Like, so many different Pokemon. You look at some of them and you go, "Who's ever gonna like that?" And then some person will turn around and be like, "That's my favorite." So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So top 5 favorite Pokemon. I'm useless with top 5. So in no particular order, I'm just gonna list 5 that I like, and most of them are probably gonna be the originals, just because I grew up with the originals. So that's where my mind always goes. But Squirtle, Geodude. I like Geodude, what can I say? I always like the first evolutions. But Squirtle, Geodude, I like a lot of the starters, in fact, if I'm being completely honest. I kind of like Coffin, I don't know why, the guy's just got a soft spot in my heart. I mean, look at a picture of Coffin. He's always happy, even when he passes out. His eyes turn to X's, but he's still smiling. Like everything's a party with that guy. You can't not like Coffin. But yeah, Squirtle, Geodude, Coffin. Let's try and think of some newer generation ones. Who did I like? I don't know, I'm useless thinking of new generation ones. I'll just stick to the first generation. Who else? Who do I like? I don't know, I'm pretty forgetting loads. I don't know, I'm useless at picking favourites. Top 3, let's do that. Squirtle, Geodude, and Coffin. I like those guys. There's loads more, but as I said at the start of the video, I'm really tired and my brain just is not working today, so... I would have loved to have done this at a better time when I was more awake, but if I didn't do it now, I never would have got to record this for you guys, so... But yeah, go on, yeah, top 3. Squirtle, Geodude, and Coffin. They just look like you just constantly have fun with those dudes. Splinter Cell 2014, the YouTuber, said, Dave, you look awesome. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. You guys, you're just too nice. Sheik Nabi said, hey, Dave, did you watch the Officer Down gameplay video and the All Who Follow You gameplay trailer for Arkham Knight yet? I watched the Officer Down one. I haven't watched the All Who Follow You one yet, but that game does look really, really cool. Sheik Nabi also said, hey Dave, what do you think about Batman having kids and Catwoman, having kids with Catwoman, or the Flash having kids with Iris West. I don't really read DC, so I couldn't honestly form an opinion about that. I mean, gut opinion, cool, I guess. I only know who Iris West is because I read Flashpoint. Other than that, I haven't read any DC, so I don't know if that's a good thing, if that's a bad thing. I mean, I have no idea, so... Sheik Nabi said, okay, Dave, last question for me today. Did you get your next generation console yet? No, I'm not going to have it for a long time. Because I know they're a bit cheaper these days, but the honest thing is, I could afford it, but then it would put me in a really bad way. I mean, right now I'm just about living comfortably with the amount of money that me and Kaylee bring in. I know it's a bit of a personal thing to be talking about money and all that sort of stuff, but we're only just about really living comfortably right now, and I could buy it with the amount of money I have, but then it would put us in a bit of a tight spot, and I'd much rather live a more comfortable life than do that. But I do plan on getting one at some point, so who knows, my birthday's coming up, maybe I'll help pitch in, and as like a group effort I'll buy it for myself, who knows. But no, I really do want one. Carl Ferguson said, you look like David Ospina, the Arsenal goalkeeper. I have no idea who that is, so I'm going to Google him. However, my friend is a massive Arsenal fan, so I might have to ask him later, see what he says. Oh man, like I never would have called that myself, but I can see similarities. The massive forehead for one, like I guess I could see it a little bit, but I'll run that by him later. He'll probably give him a good laugh. The General Fire said, I still can't put your face to your voice. Yeah, see, that's the thing when I was saying about like shattering your mental image. It's like you get this picture of what you think I'm going to look like, and then you just randomly see this random dude's face attached to the voice. It's just, I can imagine how it's weird, but... Travis Temple said, sorry, but you do not sound how you look. Sorry, guys, I'm just doing with what I'm bored with. Like, but you do look good. Mind you, not to sound creepy. No, it's right, you don't sound creepy. I'm loving the compliments, guys. It is never not nice to hear a compliment. Even a creepy compliment is still nice. It's better than being told you look like an idiot. So, Kyle Portella13 said, hey Dave, how's it going? If you put a video up, I will drop whatever I'm doing and watch it. You are my favourite YouTuber. Keep up the great work. P.S. I like what you look like. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for the kind words. That's awesome. Azayord Anam, or Azayordan. I'm hoping I did get that wrong, but you look like Caden with a beard. I'll take that. Caden for a 3D pixelated character isn't bad looking, I guess. I mean, depending on which Commander Shepard you are, they both like Caden. So, yeah, I'll take that. Cheers, man. Yeah, I never understood the Caden hate. I like Caden. Roberto Ultrasonic 215 Gomez said, wow, you're not as white as I thought you were going to be. The beard just threw me off. And the hair, for some reason I thought you were going to have like an Andrew Garfield style from Amazing Spider-Man. Huh, who would have thunk? So, yeah, it's funny you say that. I actually, like, my hairstyle used to be kind of similar to the Andrew Garfield style. And not to sense that it was all cool and like flicked up and messy. It was more in the sense that I had no clue what I was doing. Like, up until like this hairstyle I have now is like I've only had it for like a couple of months. Like before that, I usually literally just slap some gel in my hair, just mess it up a little bit, and I'll be like, oh, there you go, that's fine, that'll do. It's only when you start seeing some pictures of yourself, you're like, oh man, is that what I look like? Like, I thought to myself, like, if I'm gonna start doing this sort of stuff, I need to. I mean, I'm 26 years old. It's about time I get a grown-up hairstyle. It's about time I actually look like an adult. So, he says, wearing a Hulk and Iron Man t-shirt with a bunch of comics behind him. You get my point. It was about time I had, like, an adult haircut. But, no, thank you very much. No, I did actually have a slightly similar hairstyle to that before, just not looking as good, so... Travis Temple said, I doubt you will, but we do an Infamous walkthrough. I've had a lot of people over the years ask me to do an Infamous walkthrough. That's one of the ones that I have I have like 3 sections of lists. I've like, the games I'm definitely going to do walkthroughs of. Those who I want to do I want to play and possibly will do walkthroughs of, and then those that I'll never. And Infamous is in the one that I want to play and may at some point down the line do a walkthrough of, but it's not guaranteed. But I've had a lot of people ask me to do Infamous, and I've played a bit of it, and I did enjoy it, so maybe. That might be one down the line. Who knows? The General of Fire said, oh, read Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales. It was the first comic book ever. Oh, it was your first comic book ever, and one of my favourites. And by the way, last week I asked if one universe will live while the other dies, which will live, Mass Effect versus Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. And I mean, I answered that in the end. I chose Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Mass Effect will die. So, but yeah, I've got so many comics I want to read right now. But eventually, I'm going to get to Miles Morales. Yeah, I mean, it's not going anywhere. I suppose the later I leave it, the more I have to read. So, but no, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be cool. Also, by the way, check out the band Bowling for Soup. They're really good and similar to Bare Naked Ladies. Give them a good solid chance, okay? And read Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The more you ask, the less likely I am to read it. Like, you have been warned. It's like, what's the creator of Game of Thrones called? I don't know his name. But he said every time a fan writes in and says, when's the next book coming out? He said he kills another member of the Stark family. So, that's kind of like this. Like, every time you ask me, I put it back another month. But, yeah, I've heard Bowling of Soup before. I've heard, when I was growing up, quite a lot of their more popular songs were coming out. So, I've heard them. They're alright, but they're just no Bare Naked Ladies. Or the Zac Brown Band as well. I love the Zac Brown Band. I can't believe I forgot to mention them last week. But, yeah, Bare Naked Ladies, Zac Brown Band. Awesome, awesome music. The cutest tiger there ever was said, finally, the moment in Civil War where Spider-Man shows his true identity to the world. That's what this seems like. That's cool. Yeah, that's how I was actually thinking of doing it that way. So it's actually pretty cool you bring that up. But for some reason, you remind me of Iceman in Days of Future Past. Another awesome comment. Thank you, cutest tiger there ever was. Sean Ashmore, who plays Iceman? I know he's got a twin brother, but I'm pretty certain it was Sean Ashmore, who plays Iceman in Days of Future Past. I mean, I love Iceman, and I think he's a cool actor, so... Dude, keep these compliments rolling! It's like Spider-Man from Civil War, Iceman in Days of Future Past. I'm loving this episode! My head isn't going to be able to fit out the door, because he's literally too swollen with compliments. But no, cheers guys, thank you. Anyway, if you could have a Pokemon as a pet in real life, who would you want? I would pick Dragonite, because even though it is supposed to be a dragon, it is mostly harmless, which they even show in the anime by using it as couriers. Or couriers, I should say. It is also so cute and adorable. Besides, whenever I want to go somewhere, I can jump on him and go wherever. Yeah, so... I think if I had a Pokemon in real life, I'd have one of the starters. I'd have a smaller Pokemon. Because, I mean, having a Blastoise would be awesome. But, like, where are you going to keep it? I mean, I live in a 2-bedroom flat. I mean, where am I going to keep a Blastoise? Like, it's impossible. Like, nobody would run like an Electrode. It would blow up all the time. Or... But no, if I was to have a Pokemon, who would I have? I don't know. I think a Pikachu would actually be kind of a nice pet because it's kind of like basically a big mouse in a sense. So I can imagine it'd be kind of akin to having a pet cat or something like that. But I don't know, Squirtle maybe, that would be kind of cool. I don't know, I'd constantly need to have a bath to keep it wet. I don't know. I'd probably have one of those, one of the Pokemon who are more akin to kind of like a pet anyway, kind of like a Pikachu or, you know, a Vulpix or a Growlithe. Or a Growlithe, that'd be kind of cool. But, something like that, probably. I don't know, Squirtle. I wouldn't want a coffin. It would just be pandemonium. Every morning, your alarm clock, you roll over, you just smack the alarm clock, coffin! Like, it would be horrible. Just like, what a way to wake up, just that big grinning face. But, yeah, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, probably a Squirtle, why not? Avengers Assemble 95 said, so do we get to see what Tommy looks like now? You can already see what Tommy looks like. I think both his Twitter and his YouTube channel both has his face as the profile picture. So, I mean, you can see what he looks like there, if you want. Or you can just go stand outside his window, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Sorry, Tommy. Next week, we are here to mourn the death of Tommy. But, anyway, moving on. The multi-pig of the Doodle Clan has a lot of questions, so... story time again. Okay, Cap. To minimise the chances of my comments getting unread by you, I'm going to put them all in one. No, smart, very efficient. Comment 1. Hey Dave, you want to know what I imagined in my head you look like? Type in compelling TV on YouTube. The channel picture is what I imagined you as. Alright, fair enough. Let's do this. Let's see what Monty Pig of the Doodle Clan thought I was going to look like. This is either going to be a massive compliment or a massive slap in the face. Let's find out which one it is. That's actually not too different. I'm not going to lie. That is actually, but basing just by this tiny picture up in the top left, that's actually not too dissimilar. Like, you actually picked a fairly similar match. But, I like to think I'm the better looking one, but... Comment 2. Hey, Captain. You said that when you were watching some of these commentary or comments, time and time again, you get a picture in your mind of what he or she looks like. So, what do you think we all look like? I picked out 3 people that keep this Captain's Quarters running. Me, Yusuf, Yusser, and Mr. I can never pronounce your last name. Describe to the team what we look like to you. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it right. Maybe you do have superpowers. See, that's the thing. Like, when I always say to you guys, I always have this idea in my head, like, because from a comment, you can never tell how old somebody is, what gender they are, like, what ethnicity, what background, what country they come from. You can never tell anything based on the comments. So I normally, when answering comments, unless I know otherwise, just go with the basis of I act like maybe like you're a child or a young teenager. Because for all I know, I could be talking to one person who could be in his 40s, and the next person I could talk to could be a 7 or 8 year old. Like, I don't know. So I always worry that I don't want to respond and be harsh or say something they wouldn't understand, or maybe might take offensive because they're either too old, well, because they're too young. But if say someone's older, it wouldn't really matter either way. So, like, it's really hard to get an idea of like what you guys like. You hear my voice, you hear me talk, you've heard my personality, so you can kind of get a rough idea of maybe what I'm like. But I don't know anything about you guys. Like, I know nothing at all about you guys. I don't know even how old you are. I don't know if you're a boy or if you're a girl. Like, I don't know anything. So I don't think there's any way I could ever pick how you look like. There's no way I ever could. Like, it literally would taking a shot in the dark. I'd be like, oh, brown hair, green eyes, 3 noses. Like, I don't know. Like, there is no way I could ever guess that. Comment number 3, Captain. I'm going to have my own channel soon. Do you have any advice for me? How do you use copyright sounds and music from games you play without getting copyright infringement? How do you record gameplay? How do you... Oh man, there's a lot of questions. Alright, let's go through these one at a time. So, do you have any advice for me? How do you use copyright sounds from music from the games you play without getting copyright infringement? Okay, this is a bit of a grey area with regards to music. Like, YouTube really doesn't like you using music. So the best thing I can say is if you upload, like, a lot of people say, oh no, God, it's another commentator like rambling through a game. And the thing is, if you upload the gameplay on its own, it hasn't been edited at all, there's no commentary over the top of it or anything like that, you are literally just taking their content and putting it online, and that's normally when you get hit with copyright restrictions. If there is music playing in the background and I'm commentating over the top of it, it's kind of a hit and miss. Sometimes it will get hit with copyright, sometimes it won't. It's really dodgy. That's why a lot of YouTubers just cut it out entirely. But so it's because you're commentating over the top of it. It makes it so the music's there, but you've kind of changed the product a little bit. Your voice is over the top. It's getting in the way of the music, so you haven't just ripped off their music and put it on the screen. It's kind of become your own thing. And also, I think sometimes it gets in the way of like the YouTube filters or the YouTube what have you, whatever it is, but basically commentating over the top of it or editing or doing something, it just changes the product and it makes it so they can't really hit you with copyright too much. I don't know exactly how it works. Like, this is just me talking from my experiences. I don't know what the actual rules and restrictions of how this works is, but I know if you just upload it just as it is, then you're more than likely going to be hit with it. However, being hit with copyright comes in different ways. You could just have your channel taken down, or you can have a flag and a strike put against your channel. That's in the big extreme cases. That's if you've really done something bad. Most of the time, like, it happens with games stuff like Batman, say Mass Effect, possibly. If there's a big cutscene where there is no talking in the cutscene by any of the characters, and obviously I don't talk in the cutscenes either, and it's just music, that's when I get copyright stuff, but it's not like a big bad strike. All it says is that I can't monetize it. I can't earn any money from that video. So that way, it's kind of cool. Sometimes in extreme cases, they remove the audio, like with my The Road So Far and Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 is still up, but Mass Effect 1 got taken down because they left the video up, but they removed all the audio from it. So it's kind of defeated the whole point of the video, really. And then you get other cases like Mass Effect 3, where it was blocked in countries worldwide. The video was still up online, I could still watch it, but everywhere in the world it was blocked. Nobody else could watch it other than me. So it varies from case to case. It depends how much of the song they've realised, how much of the song has been recognised, and then maybe what the deal they have with that particular artist is or that particular company. It all varies. I don't know the exact thing. So different results. It's like sometimes you can just not earn money on it and they put their own advertisements at the start. Sometimes it's blocked just in Germany. I don't know why. I think Germany must have stricter rules on this sort of stuff. Sometimes it's blocked in certain countries, then other times it's blocked worldwide. And in extreme cases, say like if I just went and took like a song from an album and just uploaded it, then you could actually get a strike against your channel or something like that. So the best advice I could really say would come with copyrighted music. If it's in a game, say you're recording gameplay, then I'd say the best thing to do is either commentate over the audio, and that will probably stop that, or you can run the risk and just see what happens. Maybe they'll just put an ad in front of your video. But if you're just making, say, like a vlog and you want to put music in the background, never use a song. I mean, that was the problem I had with my Fallout videos, because I used the Pirates of the Caribbean music, and that all of them have been hit with copyright stuff. That's why that's one of the reasons why I stopped making it, and that's also I don't earn any money on the Fallout videos because they've all got the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff at the start. I used to put songs in the background. I used to do before the Captain's Quarters years ago. I used to do this other thing called the Weekly Roundup. And with that, I used to put songs in the background quite often, and that always got hit with it. At the start of Captain's Quarters as well, Captain's Classics, I used to always put music in front of them. They all got hit by copyright stuff as well. So the best thing I can say is if you go onto in YouTube, oh man, I can't actually remember how you find it now. You go into the video manager on YouTube, and there's a bit called in the creator studio, I think there's a bit that's just called audio, and in there you go into free music, and there's literally a section of all audio that's been created by YouTube which you can use. That's where the starting of my Skyrim video comes from, like the intro music for my Skyrim. That's where that came from. It's the free section on YouTube. So they're really hot on music with YouTube. So the best thing I can say is go to their free audio section on YouTube and just pick songs from there. That's the best advice I can give you, under the free section. That way you'll know you're safe. But if it's gameplay, I don't know, commentate over the top of it. How do you record gameplay? I use my PVR. As I said earlier, Xbox, PlayStation, what have you, plugs into the PVR. PVR plugs into the TV, and as the footage goes through the PVR, it streams it to the computer, which records it with like software that you install that comes with the PVR. With that, I then edit it and upload it. So that's how I record my gameplay. How do you then upload it to YouTube? What I do is once I finish it, I have to convert the video file, which normally takes quite a few hours to do that. With that, I then drop that file into Sony Vegas, which is my editing software. I put my audio with it, edit out all the coughs, the sniffs, add the intro in, all that sort of stuff. Render that as its own video file, and then what you do is you basically just go to YouTube, you click on upload, and then you just upload your video. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's like when I'm doing this, like this is the most simplest thing to do, like this sort of thing in the Captain's Quarters, because I record this video. As soon as I'm done recording, it's ready. It's good to go because the webcam records and turns it into a video as well. So unless I wanted to put like some music in it or I wanted to edit something out, then I don't need to do anything more to this. I can just upload it. So yeah, how do you edit videos? I use Sony Vegas. I've got quite an old one. I've got Sony Vegas Pro 9. So there are many different versions out since then. But you can use Windows Live Movie Maker, I've heard, which comes free with like every PC in the world, I think. But it's very limited what you can do. I think you can literally just cut clips out, and that's pretty much it, I think. So something like Sony Vegas is cool because you can do lots of editing in that. So but yeah, I use Sony Vegas Pro 9 for my editing. What do you want to record gameplay and edit with, and how do you use it? Set it up. What do you want to record? I'm not quite sure what that means. What do I want to record gameplay and edit with? Yeah, so basically I use my PVR and Sony Vegas. Like, they're the things I use to record edit. I'm not quite sure what that bit means, but yeah, as I said, I've actually spoke like just randomly. Like quite a few guys have asked about it in this Captain's Quarters, but yeah, so that's the main thing I could really say when it comes to tips, advice, stuff like that. Is yeah, record your voice audio separate. That way you can edit bits out. Because if it gets recorded, if your audio gets recorded along with the game audio, you're never going to be able to edit bits out. Like say I accidentally talk over a character, I can cut it out and delete it, or I can cut it out and move it just before I start talking to the character. So then that way, yeah, I can still say what I wanted to say without going over the gameplay as well. So always record don't never bang your glass on the microphone, and always record like your voice audio separate from the game. That way you can always do editing afterwards. Other than that, tips and tricks, I have no idea. You find it out as you go. You really do. Like, you never know what you need to do until a problem occurs, and then you're like, damn, how am I going to solve this? So, yeah, but, commentary, actually commentary tips, like how many, no idea, man, no idea. Like, it's a progression. Like, if you go back and watch my old videos, even if you go back and watch my Mass Effect videos, which weren't too long ago, even then I sound different. Like, it's a constant evolution. You're constantly changing. You're constantly finding different things that work for you. It's like, I can't remember, I was watching a video or something about, like, it was about this guy chatting about catchphrases and stuff like that, and it's funny, like, he said you can't force them, and it's the same with this. Like, I remember I do the Falcon Punches, and I do the Boom Babies, and that was something I said once or twice, and I found it funny, and I've decided to say it more. But something quite a lot of you guys point out, which have become catchphrases, which I didn't even mean them to become catchphrases, is stuff like saying fair enough. Like, I can't remember who it was, but one of you guys said that I said fair enough in one video 15 times. Like, every time I finished doing something, I'm like, fair enough, fair enough. Like, I didn't realise I did it that often, and as a result, it kind of became like an accidental kind of catchphrase. Like, my intros and outros to videos, I never sat there and thought, wow, how am I going to intro and outro my videos? It just kind of came out. Every time, I just accidentally, like, it just instinctively was like, what's up guys, my name's Captain Dave and welcome to, like, I didn't sit there and go, ooh, what should my intro be? It just kind of happened. It flowed, and like the Catch You Guys Later just flowed. It just, like, you can't really pick this sort of stuff. Like, the more you do stuff, things will just kind of happen. It's just natural kind of progression. Like, most of the stuff when it comes to commentary, I've grown up a person, I've got more comfortable doing it, I've got more casual doing it, but quite a lot of stuff has grown because of you guys. Like, you say stuff, you mention stuff. Like, I used to swear a lot. I mentioned in last week's Captain's Quarters, and it was one of you guys, like, years and years ago, who said, man, I want to watch your videos, but I can't because you keep swearing. And I listened back to it, and I thought, man, yeah, that actually sounds really abrasive. That's really hard to listen to, so. But, man, I mean, other than that, no, I don't know. So, it's just a progression. It's one of those things that eventually the only thing you can learn how to do is to do it. And you will eventually learn as you go along. There's only so much. It's the same with like school and education and stuff like that. There's only so much you can be taught. Eventually, you just have to do it to learn. It's just some things you can only learn by doing. So, but yeah, comment 4 from Monty Pig was, "Hey Cap, I know I don't often do this, but it's like this. If you see or hear something really awesome, you want to share it with others so they can enjoy it too. Same way with this. A higher up stop motion channel uploaded a few videos I wanted to hear your thoughts on. Tell me what you think of it and you liked. And if you're wondering whether part 4 is, I haven't done it yet. Sadly, we're still waiting for it." Alright, so in the comments you left 3 links to this video. I'll watch them probably after I finish recording this, because obviously it'll be boring for you guys just to sit here watching me watch a video. So I'll probably record them once I'm done recording the Captain's Quarters. So, and comment 5, I just found a video entitled "Every Avenger Ever." You would really enjoy it. It's pretty in depth. Yeah, I've actually watched that. I actually watched that this morning. How weird is that? It came up in my recommended videos. I actually just watched that before I started recording this. How weird is that? Like, but yeah, no, it was really in depth. It gives everyone a nice, like, up to date, basically, like, timeline of every Avenger that's ever been a part of the Avengers. So it's kind of good. Nice little update video. Also, you never shared your thoughts on the Terminator trailer. PS Fallout. But yeah, no, it was all right. I guess I can't remember ever being asked about it, to be honest. But yeah, it was all right. I'm not really a huge fan of the Terminator, but yeah, it was cool, I guess. AJ Singh said, "Hey Dave, I just finished reading Marvel Civil War. What do you think of it? Which side are you on, Iron Man or Captain America? Can you tell me what Marvel events should I read? Like, for example, Secret Wars or Age of Ultron. If you had to make a video game..." Oh man, you've got quite a few questions. Alright, I'll go through these one at a time. So you just finished Civil War. What do you think of it? Ah, good. Civil War was awesome. Civil War was fantastic. I think to this day it's still been one of the best Marvel events ever. I love Civil War. I think it's fantastic. I think the reason why it's being made and why there's such big hype around this Captain America film Civil War is because it was so well done. Like, you can read the 7 issues that make up Civil War, just Civil War 1 to Civil War 7, and they are cool. They are really good. But I highly, highly, highly suggest, if you have a subscription to the Marvel like digital comics, you go through and you read the complete event, like everything, all the tie-ins, everything, the Avengers, the new Avengers, the She-Hulk, the new Warriors, the Frontline, like the Thunderbolts. You read everything that is involved with Civil War, and hopefully, I think on the Marvel website they actually have a chronological order of every single tie-in you should read along with the main events, because that is what makes Civil War so good. Civil War itself, as I say, the 7 issues is awesome. It is fantastic. But read that with the tie-in issues as well. There is so much politics that goes into it. And I'm not talking about politics as in, we should do the legislation, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the politics between superheroes, like the ethics of what they think is right and what they think is wrong, and the morals and the mind process Tony Stark goes through when he's doing it. And Captain America sitting there thinking, like, is what I'm doing is right? The people switching sides, what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D., what's going on with the public, what's going on with the criminals, everything that goes into it is just, it's so well done. It sets up so much for the future as well. It's just, it's fantastic. It's just so fantastic. So, Civil War 1 to 7, awesome. But if you can read all the tie-ins that go with it, oh man, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But that's why everyone's so excited for this film that's coming out. But so what do I think of it? I think it's one of the best Marvel events, mainly because a lot of Marvel events happen and then this big thing's happening, all the superheroes are coming together, and then afterwards it's done and dusted and everyone goes back to their lives. The one great thing about Marvel Civil War is it was an event. It was actually this big event, because years and years afterwards you were still seeing the effects of it. The new Avengers being like Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Fist, Hawkeye, Jessica Jones, Doctor Strange, they were still on the run. They were still hiding. Years later, they're still hiding from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Tony Stark, and because they'll be arrested on spot. They're still hiding, like years later, and it's brilliant. It's so brilliant. It just had the effect, and that's what the events used to be. There was an event, it was massive. It was an event that was so big, it brought all the heroes together to fight together. So there was always an after effect, but because the events have become almost like an annual, sometimes twice, like yearly thing, it's become a bit of a, because it's become so casual and so common for these events to happen. The outcome and the aftermath hasn't really been as huge as it used to be. But Civil War, it was massive. The aftermath was insane. But which side are you on? Iron Man or Captain America? Initially Captain America, and to this day probably still Captain America. However, again, one of the things that made Civil War so cool is neither side was wrong. That was what was so cool about it. Because when you pit heroes against heroes, not only does it divide the superhero community down the middle, it divides the fans down the middle. Because a lot of people go, no, Cap's right, no, Iron Man's right. But the cool thing is both were right and both were wrong. So whoever you picked, you weren't right or you weren't wrong. It was just your own personal preference. That's why it's done so well. But I personally was on Cap's side, but I thoroughly understood Iron Man's side. Like, I agreed with what Iron Man was saying. Like, Iron Man and Reed Richards were completely right. Like, the public had enough with superheroes, and it was like, either get on board with this now, or they're going to outlaw it all completely. But at the same time, like, he wanted to be a part of it. He wanted to be leading the Superhero Registration Act. That way he can have some say in what happens. However, if they fight it and lose, then the government will be like, you are doing this and you have no choice in the matter. At least if he's running the Superhero Registration Act, he can control how it's being run. Problem is, and again I agree with Captain America as well, is if you are working for the government, they are telling you who the bad guys are. So if they say, you're going to Iraq and you're fighting for us, Captain America will be like, yeah, but why are we? Like, what's the reason for this? When they fight a bad guy, they fight a bad guy because they know he's bad. Because he's trying to do something and they're there to stop him. If you work for the government, they're going to say, you're going here and you're fighting this person because we tell you to. And that's the whole reason that the superheroes were like, no. Like, and also because you actually register your identities and your powers, which again, they don't want the government knowing, because who's going to get access to that information? Who's going to know, hi, my name's Peter Parker, and these are my family members, and I live here, and I can do this, that, and that. So if you want to beat me, all you got to do is counteract these powers. And so it was so good, like, both sides were right. They were both right. But the problem with, and the thing, again, that makes Civil War so good, It's both sides were right, but in the end they were battling each other so much they forgot why they were initially doing it, and both sides took things way, way, way too far. Like in the end, Captain America was just fighting just for the reason of fighting, just because he had to fight and he had to win and he had to stand up for what he believed in, and he realised the thing that he was believing in, he was actually trampling down in the process. Iron Man is saying, no, look, we've got to save superheroes, we've got to save this way of life. And in the end, was working with supervillains to stop superheroes. And he was like, what am I doing? Like, like in the end, they both took it too far. And that's what's great. Both were right and both were equally wrong. So whoever you pick, it's doesn't matter. But initially, I went with Cap. And I thought Cap had the right idea. But I don't know, I flip-flop. Like, reading Civil War, like, I've read Civil War several times. Like, loads of times. But like sometimes I'm sitting there like, no, Iron Man's right. Like, at the start, I agree with Iron Man more, and then I sort of go to Captain America. Like, I think Captain America's right, but I kind of feel like I probably would have signed up, and then I would have been exactly like Spider-Man. I would have signed up and been like, no, come on, look, we've got to do this. We've got to show the public that we are the good guys. We are the heroes. And then halfway through, I would have been like, whoa, I've made a huge mistake, and I probably would have switched. I probably would have done exactly what Spider-Man did. But then that's the Dave luck, that's the Parker luck, whatever. But yeah, Cap initially, but I do thoroughly understand Iron Man's point of view. Can you tell me what Marvel events should I read? Like, for example, Secret Wars and Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, you really don't actually have to read. I wasn't disappointed with Age of Ultron, but it was kind of a nothing. Like, it was a Marvel event that almost didn't. Essentially didn't exist. It was weird. Like, it was happening right during the hype of all the hype of this Secret Wars building up and all this sort of stuff. And then there was this event, Age of Ultron, that come out that had barely any tie-ins, and like, I don't want to give it away, but essentially didn't really happen. And it was just, I don't know. It wasn't as great. Like, they always talked about this one event when Ultron was finally going to come back and destroy the human race. Like, he always said he lived in a future where he had destroyed all the humans and they destroyed all the superheroes and he ruled the world. And the whole point of Age of Ultron was that was now. This time that he's always spoke about, this is that future he talks about. It's now. You finally had got to this future that he always spoke of. And, I don't know. It was a bit of a letdown, I personally think. But Secret Invasion? Oh no, Secret Wars you're talking about. I haven't got to Secret Wars yet. If you're talking about there's a few Secret Wars. You've got the Secret Wars that happened in, oh man, when did that happen? In the 80s? 86? Let me have a look. I think it happened in 86. Let me have a little look-see. Because I actually have it up here. Which one was it? Secret Wars Part 1, which was... Let's bring it down here. Oh, Secret Wars Part 1. When did this happen? This was... If I can turn the pages without ripping them or getting them all stuck up. It's not going to tell me, is it? Because it says 1940s here, but that's not right. Of course, it's not going to tell me, is it? That's just trying to be a massive pain in my ass. I think it's 86. 86 is ringing a bell in my head for some reason. But 1984. Marvel Secret Wars was to give 1984 12-parter. Yeah, so 1984 was when Secret Wars initially happened. So, and I believe Secret Wars was the first ever big Marvel event. It was the first time there was a massive crossover between the superheroes. Like, that's why it was so big. That's why it was so huge. It was literally every superhero versus every supervillain, like the biggest ones at the time. So that's why it's so cool. And I think that's why this new Secret Wars, which is currently happening, was called Secret Wars, because it was kind of a homage to the first ever big crossover event, now in what you could say is the last crossover event of this kind of continuity, of this timeline, so to speak. So yes, that's kind of cool. You've got that Secret Wars. You've also got another Secret Wars, which happened when Nick Fury took a bunch of superheroes almost on like a covert mission to Latveria, I believe it was. You know, in my Ultimate Alliance 2 walkthrough, the start of that's the other Secret Wars, where Nick Fury took a bunch of superheroes on a covert mission to Latveria to take down Lucia von Bardos. So that's the other Secret Wars. But you also have the newest Secret Wars, which is happening right now as we speak, which is about basically this massive incursion, this massive convergence of all these realities just smashing into each other, and it's kind of like a massive brawl. I haven't got to it yet. I'm really excited to read what it is, but no. So Marvel events that you should read: Civil War, as you have. Secret Invasion. That is a fantastic read, and while Civil War is happening, as you've read, it actually builds up to Secret Invasion, which is what is even cooler. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you read all the tie-ins, Nick Fury isn't a part of Civil War. And that's the thing, that Secret Wars I just mentioned, when Nick Fury takes a bunch of superheroes to Latveria, blah, 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 that builds up to Civil War. Part of the actions of that is what made Civil War happen. And Nick Fury is like underground, while the superheroes are dealing with like the aftermath of what happened. Like right at the Civil War, that town has been attacked. That town was attacked because of what had happened during the Secret Wars with Nick Fury. So they all build onto each other. Well, during Civil War, there is a time when Nick Fury, he's underground, he's on the run, he's hiding, and he begins to discover a bunch of Skrulls, which are a shape-shifting alien race, basically pretending to be certain humans. They've got rid of those humans and replaced them with their own Skrulls pretending to be them, and he's realising that the world has been infiltrated by this alien race. And that's what happens in Secret Invasion. They basically realise that a bunch of high-up officials, a bunch of superheroes, have been replaced by Skrulls, and nobody knows who's the real superhero and who's a Skrull. So basically, after Civil War, where already half the superhero community has been split down the middle. You've got half on the registration side, half on the anti-registration. They already don't trust each other. Now they don't even know if their brother in arms, their partner, anyone they know is actually who they say they are, or if they're a Skrull. So it's awesome. Like nobody trusts anybody, and now you don't trust anyone at all. It's amazing. And it's like they're trying to come together, trying to beat the Skrulls, and they have no idea who's actually a Skrull and who's a superhero, who's a human. Like, it's amazing. It's so good. And again, you have to read all the tie-ins as well. But so yeah, Civil War, Secret Invasion was a cool one. It's not a big Marvel event, but I liked Messiah Complex and Second Coming, which was just an X-Men orientated event. But oh, they're good. Messiah Complex and Second Coming, like in a row. Oh, brilliant. I don't know. House of M, that's good. Like, there's literally a line of them that go in a row, which are really, really cool. Avengers Disassembled, followed by House of M, followed by Secret Wars, I guess. I haven't actually read that Secret Wars with Nick Fury though. But yeah, Avengers Disassembled, House of M, Civil War, Secret Invasion. In that order, fantastic read. Fantastic read, it really is. Especially if you read all the tie-in events, but yeah, they're cool. I've only just finished reading Infinity. That was kind of a cool one as well. But I think my must-reads: Civil War, Secret Invasion, House of M, Avengers Disassembled, I guess as well. But they're awesome. But anyway, I've been on this one for quite a while. So if you had to make a video game and you're the hero, what villain would you face? Also, would you be a hero, a villain, or an anti-hero? If I had to make a video game and you're the hero, what villain would you face? I don't know. Yeah, it depends. I think I've had a question similar to this before. That entirely depends on what game I'm making. I'm useless at questions like this where I'm put in a spot. Like, you're going to make a video game, go. Who's the villain? I have no idea. It all depends entirely on what the video game is, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. And I would be the hero. I'd love being the hero. Like, anti-heroes are cool and all that, but everyone wants to be the badass. The badass who actually has a heart of gold. Like, everyone wants to be that guy. I'll just be the hero. All-round hero. Like Commander Shepard, Spider-Man, all-round Captain America kind of hero. That's who I'd like to be. How much does it cost to subscribe to Marvel Comics? See, that's the cool thing. Like, it is such a good deal. I think, I don't know what the equivalent is between pounds and dollars, but it is, I think it's £10 or £12 a month, I think, to subscribe. So you can either pay monthly, which I'd say, let's just say for argument's sake, it's £10. So you can either pay £10 a month, and then cancel your subscription at whatever point you want. And you pay £10 a month, and you can read whatever you like. Or you can pay £60 for the entire year. Now, obviously, if you add that up, £10 a month, that'd be £120 at the end of the year. Or you can pay £60 for the whole year. So basically, for half the price, if you pay it in one instalment. And to be honest, that is a fantastic, fantastic deal. £60, and for a whole year, you can read unlimited amount of comics. Whatever they have online, you can read. It's like in 1 year when I first signed up, I read, I think it must have been 300-400 issues of Spider-Man, 300-400 issues of X-Men, 300-400 issues of Fantastic Four. I just sat there and binge read them over and over and over and over again. Then read Ultimate Spider-Man. Then I've read the Avengers, the New Avengers. Like, each one of those issues would have been about $3.99, $4.99 each. And I've just read 300, 400 of them. Each of them 300, 400. Like, that would have cost tens of thousands of pounds to read individually. I got to read them all for £60. It's like, it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. It's just such a good deal. It really is. I'd recommend anyone to do it. Where do you go to read the comics? Yeah, that's the Marvel website. You just go on to marvel.com and you go onto the comics, and there's this. You can go from there. It's basically called Marvel Unlimited, and it's on the actual Marvel website. It's not like some other like cheap website where they're uploaded their comics or anything like that. It's the actual Marvel website. You just go there and you can read a sample. Every now and then they have a free whole comic that you can read to sort of give you a taster. But yeah, go to marvel.com, go to their comics section and sign up. But man, it's fantastic. It's such a good deal. Do you pay in dollars or pounds to subscribe to Marvel Comics? I think it's dollars, but obviously if you're in England or wherever it is you live, it will just convert it to whatever currency it is that you're using. So it's not like you have to go out and exchange money or anything. Sonic FTW said, your mic is fine except for the sound in the background, but it doesn't irritate me. Also, I thought you look this. I think that's supposed to be you look like this, but clean shaven until you told us you had a beard in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, like, when I recorded Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was I used to be clean shaven, and then I started growing a beard, and my beard got down to like there, like it got really like lumberjacky. It was it was hideous. Kaylee did not like the beard, but yeah, now I keep it trimmed. Now I just keep it like this, so I prefer it. But no, at one point I had a massive beard. It was an abomination, it really was. The random goofball said, what's up, Dave? I've been subscribed to you for about a year, I think, and I was wondering if you know anything about Iron Fist other than him being in Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. If not, then that's fine too. This channel is so chilled and love hearing someone talk about comic books as much as I do. Keep up the excellent work, Dave. Oh, thank you very much, man. And it's good to hear some more names. Like, I know you said you've been subscribed to me for about a year, but it's cool to hear some good names. Like some new, different names every now and then. It's cool to have some new people around here. But no, all I already know about Iron Fist is when I read 2004 to 2010/2012's run of New Avengers, when Iron Fist was a member of the New Avengers. Other than that, I really know nothing about him. Other than that, I don't really know much at all. So I think he did for a very short time actually have his own comic book run, I believe. But other than that, I know very little about him. I know he's Danny Rand. I know he has the Rand Corporation and he's friends with Luke Cage. Other than that, I don't read too much about him. He played quite a big part in Avengers vs. X-Men, actually. He actually played quite a huge part in that. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know too much about the guy. Greem79 said, it's nice to see your face, Cap. Thank you very much, Greem. The cutest tiger there ever was said, wow, this Captain's Quarters is going to be long, isn't it, Iceman Dave? Iceman Dave, Spider Dave and Iceman Dave. This is turning out to be a very good episode. But yeah, this is going to be a long one. I mean, we're looking at 1 hour and 20 minutes. 1 hour just gone 22 minutes. Like, it could have been a lot longer, but I'm kind of rushing through the questions a little bit because I'm tired, and this is going to be a very, very long episode otherwise. So, Zanax94 said, recently I got this Transformers vibe, so these will be related to them. Okay. So, number 1, have you ever watched Transformers Generation 1 back when you were a kid? If yes, what were your favourite Autobots and Decepticons? I've never watched Transformers, actually. Other than I saw a little bit of Transformers because my older cousin used to love Transformers. So whenever we went round theirs, I went to visit them, he'd normally be watching Transformers. But other than that, I didn't really watch Transformers, so I couldn't really say who my favourite Autobot Decepticon is. I couldn't really name them, to be honest with you, so sorry, mate. Number 2, have you played Transformers War of Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron? I'm not sure which one it was, but I went to Comic-Con last year, and they had a new game, a new Transformers they were going to release, and there was a bit of multiplayer, and I played a little bit of that. I'm not sure which one it was. I'm guessing if it was the last year, it must be whatever the newer of them two were, but I played a little bit. It was alright, but number 3, and well, have you watched Michael Bay's Transformers? Yes, I've seen all the Transformers movies. I liked the first one. I thought the first one was cool, and then they went rapidly downhill after that, I believe. It's just, you know me, I'm a story guy, and I just don't feel they have a story. They don't. Like I go there now. Like when I watched the newest one, I knew I wasn't going to enjoy the story. I just went there because I thought, let's watch some robots fight. That'll be fun. Like take my brain out and just sit there and enjoy the action. And then all the action, all the cinematic, all the cutscenes are just it's just like really close-up shots of these robots fighting. It's like, yeah, but I can't see what's going on. I just want a nice wide shot with the two robots on screen, just like, blah, 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 just like fighting back and forth. That'd be awesome, like the camera panning around them. But it's always like a close up of their knee and two swords hitting. And like, there was this bit in the third one where whoever the characters were fell off a building. As they're falling down, Optimus Prime catches them, and he's like grabbing on the building. He's sliding his way down, and the whole time it's like zoomed in on like his hand and then his elbow and then his back, and it's like, can I just see the robot fall down the building, please? Like, I come here to watch robots fight, and I get a close-up of the thing's kneecap, like. But no, I liked the first one. I thought the first one was very fun, but I just felt it went downhill very quickly after that. But, hey-ho. Donald Dimmick said, have you started any new comic book stories like Convergence or Secret Wars? The audio sounds alright to me. Of the Avengers, as of Age of Ultron, who do you think should get their own movie based just on them? So yeah, when it comes to new books, I've been reading the 2000 and... when did it start? Basically, the 2013 run of Avengers and New Avengers, which is basically a massive lead-up to Secret Wars. So, I don't read DC, so I haven't read anything new like Convergence, but I'm catching up with Secret Wars. I'm catching up. I'm never going to be completely current, because like right now I think issue 2 has been released of Secret Wars, and I still haven't got caught up to the countdown yet. So I'm always going to be a little bit behind, because as cool as the Ultimate the digital comics like online is with Marvel, they're always about 6 months to a year behind. So you can read them new, but you have to pay extra to read them new. So if you wait for them to be uploaded to the unlimited subscription, then you're always about 6 months behind, which kind of sucks. But no, I'm catching up with Secret Wars. I'm the most current I've ever been, I think, right now, reading New Avengers and Avengers, catching up. So I'm getting there. Of the Avengers, as of Age of Ultron, who do you think should get their own movie based just on them? So obviously that's already excluding Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, because they've already had their movies. So really, the ones we're looking at Hawkeye, Black Widow, War Machine, Falcon, Vision, and Scarlet Witch. I am going to say probably Scarlet Witch. Like, I would love a Hawkeye film. I've never got why people mock on Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye. I've always loved Hawkeye. I think he's cool. I just think he's such a badass. But Black Widow, I think, has the most interesting backstory to look into. There was actually, a friend at uni showed me this. Like, he actually genuinely thought this was a film that was coming out, but it would be really cool if it was a film. That somebody had made, like, in Photoshop, made a mock-up and called it Budapest. And it was basically the backstory of Hawkeye and Black Widow. I mean, that would be a really cool film. Because they always said that Hawkeye was sent to kill Black Widow. And then, he basically said, like, no. I think she has potential. She's actually a good person deep down inside. I'm not going to kill her. Like, I think that would be a cool film to depict. Basically, just flick back and show how they met. I mean, I don't think it should be a film. They don't need to make it a film. But if they were going to, I think that would be a cool one to make. So, yeah, that'd be alright. The cutest tiger there ever was said, you know what would be weird in the captain's quarters now? You speaking in JJJ's voice or doing a Falcon Punch. But don't worry, I'm sure none of us will ever ask you to do that, right, guys? I know I wouldn't. P.S. The second part of the comment was in a sarcastic manner, just in case you didn't figure that out. The cutest tiger there ever was. Damn you the hell. I've never seen myself actually do these voices before. So, alright, fair enough. So, yes, of course, none of you guys would ever ask me to do JJJ's voice or a Falcon Punch, because you know, if you ever ask me to do those voices, you'll be fired! And then, you'd be kicked out the building with a Falcon Punch! So, not looking forward to seeing my face when I did those voices. Never actually recorded myself doing them on camera before, so, there's that. But anyway, swiftly moving on. Danny numero 6 said, have you ever considered doing a walkthrough of any of the Bioshock games? Sound quality is fine, by the way. Alright, cheers, man. I've seen a little bit. I started watching a Bioshock walkthrough a few years ago, and I got a little bit bored, to be honest. I just didn't really find it interesting. Whether that was the person I was watching or whether that was the gameplay, I mean, who knows. But I'm not really interested in Bioshock. I've seen the gameplay. It looks cool. I mean, the game itself looks cool, and everyone raves about it. But I don't know, it's kind of like Assassin's Creed. I've heard it's really awesome, but it's just never really appealed to me, to be honest with you. So probably not, no. The Lone Gamer said, "Holy Mother of Marvel, you revealed yourself," which just sounds like I should be arrested when you say I've revealed myself. Like, I've revealed myself to 32,000 people. Like, I can hear the sirens now. But, yeah, Holy Mother of Marvel, you revealed yourself. By the way, what do you think the third Avengers should be about and like? Well, we already know a little bit about what the third Avengers is going to be. We already know it's going to be a two-part film, Infinity War, Part 1 and Part 2. So we already know technically what it's going to be about. But personally, I think, for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically going to be Thanos, who's been hinted at the end of every single Avengers film and then Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. He is the big bad guy. Everything that's been happening is Thanos. He's trying to collect the Infinity Stones that have been slowly revealing themselves through all the superhero films, and basically that's what Infinity War is going to be. It's going to be Thanos collecting those last Infinity Gems and forming the Infinity Gauntlet, which basically all these gems are a part of, and when you have that, you can control everything. Space, time, reality, the mind. Like, you can control absolutely everything in the universe. If you don't want somebody to exist anymore, you click your fingers, they never existed. Like, that's how powerful this is. And Thanos, I think, will either nearly complete it or will have actually completed the Infinity Gauntlet. So that's why it's going to be a massive two-part film. My hopes, what I think it's going to be like, what it should be like, is it's going to be everything. It's the combination of everything that's happened ever since Iron Man 1 to now. Like, this is what we have been building towards, and I'm hoping it's going to have all of the Avengers, both past and present Avengers, like whoever's been introduced, like Falcon, War Machine, all the original Avengers, all the new Avengers, like, they're all going to be there. I'm hoping we're going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm hoping we're going to have Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel. I'm hoping as well, Spider-Man as well. Apparently that's been confirmed. Spider-Man's going to be in Infinity War now as well. I'm hoping we're also going to have Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. Oh, it'll just be so cool. I'm hoping it is going to be the be-all, end-all of battles. It is going to be Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet versus the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, it is going to be everyone in a big old brawl. And I think Part 1 is going to be setting everything up, and Part 2 is literally just going to be the battle. It's going to be the fight. I just think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be so cool. I'm really looking forward to it. But at the same time, I want it to take its time, because I want it to be good, and I don't want it to be rushed. I want it to take its time and just be the best Marvel film ever created. I just think it's so cool. But at the same time, once it's happened, and it'll be over. So I want it to come now, but at the same time, I want it to take its time and be really, really cool. But then, hey, when it's done, Phase 4. So what's coming after that? Who knows? But yeah, moving on. Shane Miller, good to finally have a face to go with a voice, sir. However, thank you for never doing the face cam during gameplay, as I agree it will take away from the immersion of it all. Yeah, I agree. It's nice to see that someone else out there agrees with me. But my son and I, who I wrote to you about before, he's autistic and barely talks, yet he talks to you a lot as you play and talks to us. Still rewatch all your old Spider-Man walkthroughs at the time. I can never thank you enough for that. Sorry for rambling on, but here's my question. What is your thoughts on Benedict Cumberbatch being cast as Dr. Stephen Strange? Personally, I'm excited, and I think he's a brilliant actor. Thank you for your time in reading this. Yeah, so, yeah, Shane, I actually remember talking to you. The messages, like, we exchanged back and forth. And I've got to say, like, I think I said it to your messages as well, but, like, that, I thought that was really, like, amazing. Like, not, like, the stuff you wrote to me, and, like, I just thought it was cool. It really sort of hit home a little bit. It sort of, like, I thought it was really cool. Like, I've always just done this sort of stuff because I just love doing it. I think it's just really cool. But when you sent me that message, and he said that, like, he barely talks, but when he watches my gameplay, he, like, talks to the screen. I thought that was the fact that something I created did that for you and has done that for, like, you and your son's life. Just, I never saw coming, and the fact that I've done that, man, it's just, I think it's brilliant. So I'm glad. I'm so truly glad that has helped. Like, I never would have thought that would have been something that had happened, but it's like, you can see on my face. Like, I'm so happy for you. That, and as to say, like, I used to be a healthcare assistant for 7 years. I worked in hospital for a long time, so I've met loads of different people, so I know how it can affect like how stuff like autism and stuff can affect different people's lives. So the fact that this has actually been a positive thing for you, I mean, that's cool. I never would have thought that this would be something like that, but the fact it has, man, I'm so happy that it's just such a great thing. I never would have thought. So no, I'm happy for you, man, and I'm happy that helps. But yeah. So getting to your question, what are your thoughts on Benedict Cumberbatch being cast as Dr. Stephen Strange? I think it's a great choice. I remember when he was first rumoured to be Stephen Strange, and a lot of people were like, oh, should he be? The second I saw his face, I was like, he just has a strange face. And that sounds cool. That's not what I was getting. That's not at all what I meant. Like I just realised what that meant. When I say strange face, I mean, like, I looked at him and I just thought, that's Doctor Strange. Not that his face looks weird. But I saw his Benedict Cumberbatch's face and I just thought, that's Doctor Strange. Like, that is... Like, I just couldn't... The second someone said, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch, I couldn't see anybody else playing it. So, yeah, man, I'm really excited. I think that's going to be really cool, Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange. I think he's going to play it so well. Like, both parts. Like, when he's an arrogant surgeon before, like, he has the accident with his hands, I think that would be a great character. And at the same time, he's going to play also the Sorcerer Supreme well. I think he's going to play both parts of Doctor Strange really well. In saying that, though, they said they're not really doing backstories anymore. They're not doing origin stories, so we probably won't actually get to see the arrogant surgeon part of him, unless it's like a backstory, like a flashback, just to quickly how he got his abilities or something like that. But no, I think he's going to play. I think he's going to do a really good job. I'm excited to see Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, and it's going to be nice to see as well this new side of Marvel. Like, other than Thor and Loki, we haven't really seen the mystic side. Like, even that's more of a mythical god side. Other than that, it's all been technological or just superpowers. We haven't seen the dark arts, the magic side of Marvel yet, and I think that's what we're going to see here. I think it's going to be kind of cool. But the Gem of the Fire said, Cap, I'm very grateful for the video game We Fight for Food, but I don't know how to access it. What do I do to play on my Xbox? If it's for PC, I can't play it. Yeah, sorry, man. It's only for PC. It's a free download from Steam, which is how you play games on PC. So sorry, man. Yeah, I suppose I should have really been a bit more clear with that. But yeah, it's a PC game, man. So yeah, sorry about that. And last comment was from Fernando Lemus, who said, "Are you going to play any more superhero games?" Yes, I am. I realised that a little while ago. That I realised that I was doing Skyrim and I was doing Walking Dead. And I didn't really have a superhero game going. And normally I like to have at least one superhero game being played. So yeah, once Walking Dead is done, we're gonna be jumping on loads of superhero games. Whether I'm gonna be playing like the Lego Batmans, or I'm gonna be playing Arkham Knight, or I might be playing the Lego Avengers game that's coming out. Also, I might be playing through a lot of my old walkthroughs, which also Shane Miller, you might be happy to know. I might be playing, redoing Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions or Spider-Man Edge of Time as well. So that'd be kind of cool. As you said, like, your son likes to rewatch them. So I was thinking about doing some newer ones of them, so that might be kind of cool as well. So, but also Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I'm really thinking of doing that one again. So no, there's definitely superhero videos coming. Like once like Skyrim's going to be going on for a long time, but once Walking Dead's done, everything after that is going to be Batman or Spider-Man or Ultimate Alliance or some variation, maybe X-Men Legends, some variation of those sort of games. So no, superhero, it's about time we get back on the superhero games, I think. We haven't played a superhero game far enough. But also in saying about superhero games or just superheroes in general, there's a few other things I've been thinking of doing that are superhero related, and not game superheroes, just superheroes in general. But that's something that, like, as much as you guys always moan that I leave you on cliffhangers, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you on the cliffhanger. Like, it's in the works, like something superhero and comic books and all that sort of stuff. 'Cause like you said, like, you love to. There was somebody else. I can't remember whose comment it was. Someone down there, I think it was a random goofball. Oh yeah, he said, "This channel is so chilled. I love hearing someone talk about comics books as much as you do." But I've got something like that. I'm planning on doing something that's very much just about comics and superheroes and comic books. But that's for the future. As for now, that is the end of this Captain's Quarters. Sorry if I wasn't as active and as upbeat as I normally am. I'm shattered. I'm so tired, but I just had to get this done. I really didn't want to leave you guys without a Captain's Quarters this week, especially since how, like, there was no Segway City and the Skyrim on Monday probably won't be uploaded. So I wanted you to at least have a Captain's Quarters. So, But yeah, this has been cool. Sorry if it was a bit rushed. Sorry if I was a bit tired. Like I really wanted to do this for you guys. But yes, so as always, if you guys have any questions or comments that you guys want to ask me, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get through and start answering them next week. If you left a comment and I didn't read it out this week, blame YouTube, not me. Like I read out every comment that's available to me. So just write it again, and hopefully I'll get through to it next week. But having said that, my name's Captain Dave. This has been the Captain's Quarters, and I will catch you guys later.